Imagine finding out one of your kids was addicted to vaping, and no one knows the long-term effects of it. Vaping is taking over the youth generation because of its addictive chemicals. Vaping was supposed to help smokers stop smoking cigarettes because vaping is supposed to be nicotine-free. But in most cases, the chemicals and liquids in vapes are even worse than cigarettes. According to Healthline.com, the e-liquid comes in a cartridge called a Juul pod or J-pod, and it usually contains nicotine. Nicotine-free e-juice contains a number of potentially toxic chemicals, such as base liquids and flavoring agents. And the researchers found that 92% of the flavors tested for one of three potentially harmful chemicals. I understand the effects of vaping, and I think it is important for parents and kids to educate themselves on the effects and harmfulness of vaping. The American Heart Association states, nicotine can harm the developing adolescent brain. Nicotine addiction that occurs with e-cigarette use may lead to transition to use of tobacco products. Addiction itself, whether to nicotine or other drugs, can drive undesirable behaviors. Vaping is unhealthy in many different ways. It is bad for your heart and lungs. It is just as addictive as smoking cigarettes, and the youth are getting hooked on nicotine. I'll cover 3 areas: effects of vaping, the addiction of vaping, and kids getting hooked on nicotine. First, I would like to start off by talking about the effects of vaping. Most people don't know all the effects of vaping, and we still don't even know the long-term effects from it. Using nicotine in adolescence can harm the parts of the brain that control attention, learning, mood, and impulse control. Using nicotine in adolescence may also increase risk for future addiction to other drugs. Some of the ingredients in e-cigarettes could also be harmful to the lungs in long term. For example, some e-cigarette flavorings may be safe to eat, but not to inhale because the gut can process more substances than the lungs. Vaping is very addictive, and I'm going to tell you why. About 99% of vaping products contain nicotine, which is a very addictive chemical. The more you vape nicotine, the harder it is to go without it. When you go without vaping, then the level of nicotine in your bloodstream drops, which causes unpleasant feelings, physical symptoms, and a strong urge to vape. Here are some withdrawal symptoms: feeling irritable/jittery, feeling hungry, feeling anxious, headaches, tired and groggy, sad, and down. Even though nicotine is very addictive, the youth are the ones that are getting hooked on it the most. It's so easy nowadays for kids to get hooked on nicotine because they are not educated about the effects of vaping. Parents need to have more talks with their kids about vaping and what it does to your body. Ways that parents can talk to their kids are: 1, don't freak out at first. Educate yourself on the effects of vaping, and keep an eye out on your children for hints that they are vaping. We need to put a stop on young kids vaping, and to do so, we need the parents to educate themselves and have a discussion with their kids. Vaping has so many effects on the body, including the brain, lungs, and heart. Nicotine is found in 99% of vapes and is a very addictive chemical, which makes it hard for people to quit vaping. The youth are the ones with the worst addiction, and we need parents to help by educating themselves and talking to their kids. Vaping is unhealthy in many different ways. It has major side effects, contains addictive chemicals like nicotine, and the youth are the ones getting hooked on it. After listening to this, I hope you realize the effects vaping has on the body. Let's put a stop to it by educating ourselves. Some sites that I use for my informative speech are Healthline.com, Heart.org, and CDC.com. Thank you.